Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the studio and welcome to another spot on this 30-day challenge. And I wanted to focus this time on something that probably everybody in the group can relate to from time to time or all the time. And that's how to fit in any kind of physical fitness when you're super busy. And because this challenge is mainly focused on sort of rerouting our nutrition habits, we're not going to talk a lot about exercise or the fitness training portion of things, but I do want to, once again, punctuate that it is important that you get at least 30 minutes of exercise per day. Now, if you have to break that up over time during the day, I guess you can do it, but there are benefits to increasing your heart rate and sort of getting it all done at once. Allows you to work a little bit harder and just set aside some time for yourself mentally to do something for yourself. And self-care is a subject that a lot of people feel belongs in the sort of go to get a massage, go get your hair done, your nails done, whatever it is. But self-care is really about making sure that your mind and your body are getting what they need. And your body needs proper nutrition as well as sleep, hydration, and fitness. So I have now my notes again, and I'm going to give you guys sort of 10 tips on how you can fit in some time to move your body even if you're super busy. So the first one would be using your commute if you can, if it's reasonable. So if you live a few miles away from your office, consider biking or walking there instead of driving your car. Even just 1 or 2 times a week. Commit to it once a week to start, and if it seems like something you can do, especially in fair weather, increase that. You're going to burn more calories, you're going to have some extra movement, and that's just going to be getting to and from work. So if that works for you, then try to slowly incorporate that into your schedule, and just remember to keep some clean clothes at the office. That can be a challenge, so if there isn't a shower, I understand, but if you're not walking at a super brisk pace or breaking out in a huge sweat, it's an option for you. If it's too far away, being an environmentalist, maybe you can get halfway there by foot or by bicycle and then take mass transit the rest of the way. So think about that. You can also take exercise breaks at the office if you're there, or at work if you're not in an office. If you have the benefit of having a full office, consider, once or twice a day, if you can't get out or there's no gym nearby that you can go by for a workout at lunch, close the door, do a quick little body weight workout, and you can stand at your desk, and do some squats or take stretch breaks or whatever that is. Even just walking around in between tasks are also it's going to keep you more alert and at least get some level of movement in your body during the day, so you're not stagnating. Make an appointment. That's number 2. So number 3, make an appointment to exercise. I find that at least, someone's backing up, I don't know. At least half of my clients probably come to train with me privately because it keeps them accountable. And so making an appointment will force you in a way to carve out that time in your day to make exercise a commitment and finding a place for it. If you block off an hour 3 or 4 times a week even, and just treat that hour like you would anything else, like getting your hair cut or your nails done or pedicure or massage, whatever it is, or a meeting with your boss, it's something that's important for you to do. And outside meetings, like a meeting with your boss, you're not going to cancel because you take that seriously. It's a detrimental part of your day, and so is your exercise. So think about your exercise, your appointments to exercise as something that's not really a throwaway in your day. It's an important meeting too. And on the line of creating accountability and making appointments, see if you can find a workout buddy. If you don't have a friend that has the time to work out or a family member, you can always, take the option of a coworker, or There are some online options for finding fit friends, but having a friend to come with you, it makes it nice to be able to make contact with somebody outside of your regular routine. Check in with them, you know, go for a hike together, sign up for a workout class together. Working out with a group of friends could also be fun if you have a group of friends. I know I'm personally busy all the time, so it's typically just myself and my husband that work out together, or just me alone. But I think it would be pretty cool to go for a run with a group of friends. I used to run a lot when I was in Vancouver with friends, and that was really cathartic, going out, and I would make sure that I did that at least a few times a week after work. It makes it easier to fit the exercise into your schedule, and it keeps you accountable because other people are counting on you to show up. And if they are a good friend, they're less likely to bail on you. So try incorporating a friend. How about if you're single or dating, you know, or you have a significant other? Why not have an exercise date? You know, go out for dinner or go home and make dinner, and then go for a jog after, you know, with the requisite amount of time to wait so you don't get sick, or go smash a workout at the gym. Working out with a partner, and especially somebody who you're romantically involved with, also can, you know, increase your intimacy. So it's another great offshoot, is that you're creating a bond, doing something together that you both like. So if you have that option with somebody you're currently dating, or maybe a new prospect, or your old faithful, consider that. See if that's something you guys can do together. It's definitely something that Jeff and I enjoy doing, and it's fun to work out together sometimes, because sometimes you need a spotter, or sometimes one or the other person needs the motivation. Just because it's, you know, something that I do kind of all day, every day, doesn't mean I've always got the motivation to do it, and it's great to just have somebody there to keep you accountable. Number 6, try to be more efficient with your working out. So a lot of people will get on their phones and text or email or scroll through whatever BS they're scrolling through. And it makes the workout session, instead of an hour and a half or an hour or half an hour, way longer. Also, doing an inefficient type of exercise for what your goals are is also going to take up way more time than maybe you have. So shorter workout sessions like HIIT or Tabata or circuit training, like we already talked about, you watched Carly do some circuit training. Those are the things that can be super impactful, great for you, without taking up a lot of time. So you're just incorporating a lot of supersets, a lot of exercises quickly, with short rest periods, and you know, a lot of that stuff can be done body weight in your own house. If you want to you know, obviously to tackle a larger workout, then that's cool if you've got the time. But you know, the theme of this is sort of, I don't have the time to move my body at all. And so I'd like to help to get you to a level where you can make time for that in your life. Number 7, using your downtime. So I haven't had a subscription to television in at least 7 years, and the only reason it was just about 7 years ago is that when Jeff and I moved in together, he had TV, but we never watched it. And so before that, I can't remember when I had TV. Anyways, people love to sit down and scroll through their phones or watch TV or vegetate, whatever it is, but often they don't realize how much time they spend Netflix and chilling. And if you have the time to sit on the couch and spend more, then hey, I don't disagree. Sometimes at the end of a night, a few times a week, we'll sit down and watch an episode of like Ozark or something that's a good show for 45 minutes and just veg. That's cool. But if you're doing that every single day and you're doing it for more than, you know, a 20-minute episode of Forensic Files, you've got time to exercise. And if you think you don't, you know, that's your deal. But if you are able to veg out in front of the TV, then why don't you try Googling or Pinteresting? I remember Mad Men had it. Every time one of the characters would take a drink of scotch or whiskey or whatever it was, you had to do 10 push-ups. And or a Game of Thrones one, I remember, Game of Thrones workout, which I never watched the show, but try to incorporate, if you have a favorite TV show that you're watching, some kind of workout into that. So you could be doing, tricep dips off your couch, or, use an ottoman in the room, or in between, in commercial breaks, figure out some kind of circuit training that you're gonna do. But if you find that you're sitting in front of the television for more than an hour a day, you've got to ask yourself realistically what your priorities are. And all that blue light time isn't going to help you either. So take advantage of your downtime. Be realistic. Another thing is to join something you're committed to, like this 30-day challenge. And while this is completely anonymous to a certain degree, and 70% of people drop out of things they join, joining a challenge with a start and a finish, and reaching that goal at the end can be enough motivation for you to continue to add fitness or training, strength training, whatever, into your already hectic schedule. So for instance, if there's a 5K coming up, or depending on your level of health, like a little mini hike, or a walk for the SPCA or something like that, any kind of anything with a deadline or competition type scenario will get you motivated. If you're a competitive type person, setting those concrete workout goals, this is what I have to get done every day. I'm going to do 10 minutes on the treadmill today, then 2 days from now I'm going to do 15, then 20, 25, and that increase until I hit my goal. And then I'm going to go do that 5K, underwear run or whatever it is. It's going to be super motivating for you, because eventually you're going to be holding your own feet to the fire to complete the ultimate goal, which is the race or whatever you've chosen. But grab a buddy and sign up for some kind of fitness charity event like that if you need that motivation. And then once you've made the commitment, you block off that time and you do it. Simple number 9, always take the stairs. This is like the easiest bunch of information I could give you. There are a lot of choices that are small during a day that seem inconsequential, but when you add it up over time, they're not. And so taking the stairs is huge. If there are a lot of elevators in your building that you'd rather take because you're on the 4th floor, it's only 4 floors, take the stairs. I know one of our members on here used to, or maybe still does, take the stairs like up 10, 15, or 20 stories. And that's pretty cool. Like, it's just showing a bit more care for your body and throwing in that exercise when you can. Even at the mall or the airport, you see everybody get on those escalators or elevators, and those stairs are just sitting empty. They're sure for a safe exit of a burning building or what have you, but they're also there at your disposal to use for fitness. Park further away from your office than you need to. Park further away from the entrance to your local grocery store than you need to the entrance of the mall. If you're going there, you find yourself going there. Give yourself the extra work, to do. When you're on the phone, if you have to make a phone call, go for a walk if that's appropriate at the time, or if it's not pouring rain or snowing. And take your pets out, your kids out on extra long walks, and incorporate movement, just basic movement into your life. And drumroll please, the final tip that I have for you out of these 10 tips to get moving and incorporate fitness into your life when you think you don't have enough time, is to make it fun. Workouts shouldn't feel like a chore all the time. I know for me personally, sometimes it does, because I train myself and then I train other clients, and it starts to become a real drag. But I am inspired by changing things up for my clients, teaching a private yoga class, teaching a new HIIT class, getting somebody to reach a PR, and working out alongside them even can sometimes inspire me to do better in my own training. But when things get really boring, you don't feel inspired anymore personally to get that done. And so think about maybe what you might find fun. I know as a dancer, before when I first moved to Alberta, I went back to dance and I started taking ballroom because I was doing the gym, yoga, and I was just kind of bored, but I wanted to get more movement in my life, and so I went back to competitive ballroom for a while. I was injured and couldn't compete, but it was something I loved. So, think about what you love doing and what would be fun for you. So sign up for a dance class or a weekly flag football thing or a slow pitch group. I mean, you're getting your socialization in there as well if you have the time. Even just a friendly game of sports or soccer or something with your friends or your kids or your husband or wife or, whoever. You'll be more likely to fit exercise into your schedule when it's busy, when you're going to have a good time doing it. So get excited about making the time, sit back and think, am I making excuses? Because there are a lot of ways to fit this into your schedule. I know that some of you have 12-hour workdays and you have families, and so, and commutes on top of that. So sometimes those workdays make it absolutely impossible to do anything extra. I get it. On those days, that's when you really want to incorporate the parking farther away, the taking mini breaks and walking around, just to get your blood flowing. If that's as much as you can do, some squats in the hallway before you go to see your next client or whatever, do it. On those days off, which you should have, if you don't, let's talk about why and your lifestyle and if you're happy with how things are going. But on those days off, really take advantage of taking care of yourself with fitness. It's 80-20. Nutrition is 80% of the battle. But as we get older, we need to maintain our healthy structure, a skeleton that can stand upright, muscles that can guide us through our days and nights, so that we age gracefully and healthfully, and we can take advantage of those later years instead of being sick and weak. So if you have any other ideas, please share them here with us. If you have any questions, if you want me to have a look at your schedule and let you know how I think you could best incorporate more exercise into your hectic life, please do not hesitate to ask. But there's 10 tips on how you can just make little tiny incremental changes to make exercise and self-care more of a priority in your day. Have a good one, guys.